First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler, and we are live here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. I'm here every weekday. We always mention that we cover a wide range of topics, and we do here on this show, so thanks for being a part of it. And right now, we are going to talk to two students who wanted to, I would say, maybe change the way that high school students take a look at colleges and how you visit them. It's Evan and Alexander who are joining us right now, who visited 25 colleges in 25 days. That's a big feat in its own right. That's a lot of traveling around.
A lot, yes.
Right? I want to ask you guys all about this and what you learned from it, but to start off, would you mind introducing yourselves and just telling us, what prompted this kind of a trip?
Yeah, so I'm Evan Goldstein. I'm a rising junior this year at Jesuit High School. And this trip was really about, so me and my older brother, Jack, he's going to be a sophomore this year at the University of Pennsylvania. And we started Quadio, the company we started, out of the idea of how can high school students really get a better understanding of what their life is like at their dream school. And we do this by matching high school students with college kids so they can ask the questions they may be hesitant to ask on a typical college tour or by reading the rankings. And so we wanted to visit 25 different schools, have 25 different sets of conversations to really test this theory. How can we better understand a life at a university by talking one-on-one with a college student?
So really getting there and talking one-on-one and finding out from them what it's like. And so how did you decide where you were going to go first, mapping this out? Because the travel part is also a huge aspect of this, of hitting 25 colleges in 25 days.
So this is obviously a social media endeavor. So we were looking online, looking to see where are kids looking, what is the most popular right now? And then obviously, since travel, like you mentioned, is such a huge factor, we were seeing hey, is it going to be easy to get from here to here? So we were thinking East Coast, then we take it down the belt and then all the way to the southern schools because those are really nice to hit as well.
So what was it like, when you started getting out there for your first couple of visits, when you just, because it's one thing to, conceive of this plan, to really get it all going, but then once you're there and actually in action, what was maybe one of the first things that you learned was maybe different than what you expected?
Yeah, well, the first thing we learned, and we learned this one very quickly, is that in the summer, you're not going to have your typical hundreds, if not thousands, of students walking down the quad. It's a lot harder to find students in the summer. So the first school we went to, Northeastern, we found this immediately. There's not going to be a lot of students on campus. So we learned very quickly, what parts of campuses can we really find the most number of students? And we went to some schools where it was empty. We couldn't find basically any students. And so we also had to adjust, start doing stories that didn't rely on student interviews and kind of talking more about things about admissions or things about the sports program, just to really create content if we couldn't actually find students on campus.
It's a good way to pivot there. Once you realize, okay, we still have to get something done. You've got one day to do this. And to get that. I mean, at the end of it, though, going to all of these different 25 different schools, what were some of the big takeaways that you had that you could share with other people?
I mean, I think it's just realizing that students are more open to share their stories than you thought. I mean, it's difficult going up to a bunch of students and asking them questions, but once you really got to talking to them, the students that accept us, I mean, they were really authentic with their stories, and we got to learn so much from actually talking to a person face to face rather than just doing that typical Google search.
And so do you think that this would be beneficial for other, high school students who are getting ready to go to college and picking their college to have that kind of one-on-one talk with another college student?
Yes, I really think, because we've been on college tours before, we've read the rankings where you get a general understanding of maybe what's the architecture, what are the best majors at a school. We found that when you can actually ask one-on-one questions, you can ask the questions that, maybe what's your least favorite thing about the school? Get to really understand the questions that maybe you'd be hesitant to ask in a larger group. That's really the best way to understand, is this school a great fit for me?
Yeah, what would be a couple of good questions that people could ask to find out if something's a good fit for them?
I would say for me, the biggest question I always love to find is what type of student really thrives at Duke, at Princeton? I think for me, that question really sets into perspective and being honest with myself. What type of student am I? And based off that, I can really find, is this school, based off what the student can tell me, is this school that I can really use my talents, my gifts, my interests, and really thrive at this given university?
I'm noticing the backpack behind your head there. Is that an indication of one of the schools that you ended up choosing?
I mean, yeah, we got a full between Tennessee, Texas, Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see the Tennessee back there, too.
Personally, I'm a huge Oregon Ducks football, basketball fan, but from schools you visit like Duke, Princeton, Fordham, we just learned there's so many amazing schools out there. So I'd be lucky anywhere I ended up.
Well, what else do you think is important for people to know about your journey here, your experience with this?
I think it's also looking beyond just the top 25, just the schools that everyone knows. Because, I mean, we found some gems. We checked out Fordham. Fordham's not a school you typically hear thrown around on the West Coast, but it was an amazing school. We had an incredible Quadio ambassador giving us a look around the campus. And, I mean, I think just doing your research and giving yourself the time to find a school that's the best fit for you rather than just seeing what it has on paper.
So did you two end up picking a school?
Ultimately, we're gonna be juniors this year, but I definitely started to build my list. I mean, there's a moment where I was talking with Caden Boozer, the star basketball player at Duke, and he was talking about why he loves Duke. And there's a moment where I just couldn't help but smile and say, this is a school I would love to be going to. Because it's just, everything I saw about Duke just really felt like home to me. And so personally, that was by far my favorite school from this entire experience.
And what about you?
For me, it's got to be Penn. I mean, we went to the school, not the biggest sports school, but I'm a lacrosse player myself. Getting to check out that incredible facility was awesome. And getting to talk to the students, they really seemed to love it there. And then we went inside Warren. I'm inspiring economics and trying to do economics for my undergraduate. And the Warren building is just absolutely incredible. You can't beat it.
Awesome. Well, guys, congratulations on doing this too and getting that better idea for yourselves, but also helping out others in this. Any last piece of advice that you have for everyone?
My last piece of advice I'll give for any, whether it's a high schooler or a parent talking to their, whether it's a rising junior, rising senior, if you can, talk one-on-one with a college student. Maybe you know them through a family friend, or maybe you find that student through Quadio. But really being able to engage one-on-one with a college student is undeniable. We found by visiting 25 schools, the best way that you can really get a better understanding of what's your dream school, if that school is actually a fit for you, or if it's just a school that's ranked really high but maybe isn't the best match for you.
And I'll tack on to that. Looking beyond the tours. I mean, you can go to a school, you can get the basics tour, but it's just going to tell you what the information is at surface value. Evan's totally right when he says that you need to get yourself a student who's actually experienced it to get yourself the feel of like what it's going to really be like going to a school like this.
And you mentioned Quadio. I'd be remiss not to ask too. Can you tell us what Quadio is?
Yeah, so Quadio, the idea for Quadio is, for college students that are looking to share what their school is like, talk to high school students. We'd love having more. We have over 450 college Quadio ambassadors. And those are people that online or in person can show high schoolers around their school. And for high schoolers, really, rising juniors and seniors, maybe you can find a student for me, my dream school's Duke. Maybe I can find someone who went to my high school. Maybe someone that's also from Portland. Maybe someone that has similar interests or similar majors than me. And I can meet up with that student one-on-one and ask them the questions that I might be hesitant to ask in a larger group and really get a better understanding of what's the school actually like on a day-to-day basis.
Very cool. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Congrats on going to do this and Quadio, of course, and just having time here to talk to us. So really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. As I mentioned, we've still got more for you here, heading all the way to our 4 p.m. news. We started at 1 o'clock. We've got some more left for you. We're just going to take this quick break and back with more Fox 12 Now.